Yeah. Look, all my niggas savage, rotten like a carrot. They say they got baggage.
In the 2020 NBA offseason, there have been many crazy trade rumors going around the league in the last couple weeks. Following the Houston Rockets with Russell Westbrook wanting out of Houston, also with James Harden reportedly might be going to Philadelphia or Brooklyn Nets. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about 8 realistic NBA trades that will happen before the regular season starts. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Will, and we're back again with another video. And I am very excited to do this video. I've been waiting on all these trade. I've been seeing all these trade rumors all over social media, all over ESPN, and I want to make my own realistic trade list because there are many trades that are realistic, and there are also some that are very crazy. Now, before we get to this video, if y'all new to my channel, I want to make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thank y'all for the support. Now, my list, I have 8 realistic ones. We're gonna start with number 1. Chris Paul to the Phoenix Suns for Ricky Rubio and Kelly Oubre. Why do you do this trade? For Phoenix, this is a beautiful trade. Yes, I get some Phoenix Suns fans thinking longevity-wise, but why not try things out with Chris Paul? Chris Paul is an amazing floor general that Phoenix needs. They need a point guard. Ricky Rubio, he's okay, but he's not going to cut it. Chris Paul would develop DeAndre Ayton to become the next Amari Stoudemire. Chris Paul will also develop Devin Booker to become maybe the second best scorer in the league. Chris Paul would develop this whole team and probably have the Phoenix Suns as a 5th seed in the West. If I'm Phoenix, I'm doing this trade. Now, if I'm Chris Paul, I'm hesitant because I still want to win a championship. But other than that, I think this is a great trade for the Phoenix Suns. Now, number 2 on my list, we got Russell Westbrook to the Miami Heat for Kendrick Nunn, Myers Leonard, and a first-round draft pick. Now, I know what y'all Heat fans might be thinking. No, this is not realistic. It's not. But if I'm Russell Westbrook, if I want to win, I want to go to Miami. Either Miami or Denver. Those are the 2 best options for Russell Westbrook right now. Do not go to the Knicks. The Knicks, they're trying to do everything they can to get Russell Westbrook. I hope, Russell, you don't go there. I hope they don't trade for you. Because if you go there, you're just going to be another guard that's trying to, put up stats and still not. Probably be an AC in the East, maybe. But only player you have on the Knicks is RJ Barrett, and that's it. If I'm Russell, I would go to Miami because Eric Spoelstra and Jimmy Butler would get the best out of Russell Westbrook. He would develop him and become more of a floor general on the Miami Heat, being the starting point guard with Jimmy Butler, with Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, where Russell Westbrook finally has shooters on the floor where he can operate the offense. Where Jimmy Butler he's scoring off ball and playing great defense and still being the leader that he is. Russell Westbrook, you should go to Miami. Miami's the best fit for you, dog. That's why I think this trade works out, and I think this trade works out for Houston because they're actually getting a solid rookie point guard who was a Rookie of the Year candidate in Kendrick Nunn. Everybody forget, and they finally get a center in a first-round draft pick. So I think this trade works out both ways. Now, number 3 on my list, I know y'all been waiting for this one. James Harden to Philadelphia for Ben Simmons and Al Horford. Now, Houston, I just gave you Kendrick Nunn to be your point guard. But how about Kendrick Nunn coming off the bench for y'all, Houston, and having Ben Simmons at the point? And you finally have a starting center which he can actually play his position at Al Horford and being your starting center on the team, Houston. Now, for Philly, this works out also. James Harden with Joel Embiid. Beautiful. I don't care if they like each other. It's all about winning this championship. I really think Joel Embiid, James Harden work out pretty good. Yes, James Harden is going to be going to operate the show. Obviously, he's going to probably put up the same stats he did last couple of years. 30 plus points, 8 plus assists, 7 rebounds. He's going to do his thing. But you finally have a big time center and one of the best centers in the league in Joel Embiid. And you still have Tobias Harris, Josh Richardson in the crew, and you have Doc Rivers coaching you up. James Harden, this is the best situation for you. If you want to win, go to Philly. You will probably win the East. Or face off versus Brooklyn, at least in the Eastern Conference Finals. So that's for both ways, for Philly and Houston. This works out beautiful. Now, number 4 on my list, we got Kemba Walker to the Pelicans for Drew Holiday. Now, Boston fans, hear me out. I know Kemba Walker only had 1 season with y'all. But I know Kemba Walker did get injured in the playoffs. He wasn't himself. I still think Kemba Walker can do well for Boston. I really think this trade works out both ways. One, this works out for Boston getting Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. Ask Kevin Durant and ask Damian Lillard. They both praise him, saying he's the best defender in the NBA. And he's one of the most underrated guards in the NBA. He can score at will. He can score without the basketball. And he's very unselfish on the court. He will work out beautifully with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown on the floor with that offense and defend at both sides of the floor. Now for the Pelicans, it also works out. Kemba Walker, you don't have to be a point guard on this team. You can let Lonzo operate the show, and you can be a shooting guard and still be unselfish and feed Zion the ball and Brandon Ingram. So this would be your lineup, Pelicans. Lonzo, point guard. Kemba Walker, shooting guard. Brandon Ingram, small forward. Zion, power forward. Derek Favors, center. And the coach of y'all team is Stan Van Gundy now. I really think y'all will be a very solid Western Conference team. Very scary Western Conference team. Y'all pick up Kemba Walker. I think this is a great trade for both sides. So, that's number 4 on my list. Now, number 5 on my list. Lakers. Dennis Schroder for Kyle Kuzma and Danny Green. I really like this one because Dennis Schroder is one of the most underrated guards in the league. Another guard that can score off ball and also can defend on both sides of the floor. And it's a six man of the year candidate. Back-to-back years. This will work out for the Lakers. If LeBron needs a break, Rondo might be leaving. So if Rondo leaves, he needs another guard to come off the bench or start for your team and give LeBron a breathing room so he don't have to operate the show every game for the whole season. Now for OKC, obviously y'all rebuilding mode. I mean, y'all got Shea. Chris Paul is leaving. Getting Kyle Kuzma, he would develop himself and becoming more of a scorer, which he was before LeBron and AD arrived. And Danny Green's getting up in age, but he can still score when he wants to, still shoot the ball. He's very inconsistent right now, but he can still score and still provide leadership to that team. So I think this trade also works out for both ways. Now, number 6 on my list. Hear me out on this one. Miles Turner to the Houston Rockets for P.J. Tucker and Eric Gordon. For Houston, this is a great trade. You're spacing out the floor. And you're not playing small ball. You're actually spacing out the floor with a big man that can shoot and defend. Houston Rockets. Houston, look what I've done for y'all. And I'm not done. Y'all got a solid starting 5 so far. Starting 4, at least. Kendrick Nunn coming off the bench. Ben Simmons, y'all point guard. Al Horford, y'all center. You can have Miles Turner be y'all power forward. And I got one more player for y'all. But let's get back to this trade right here. Both sides, I think this works out pretty good. Now for Indiana, you get I think PJ Tucker can play power forward, not no center. Like Houston needs to pay that man for being a 6'5" center on that team. Disgraceful. And you get still a solid shooting guard in Eric Gordon. Even though he's derailed by injuries, he still can put up 20 points every other night. Very streaky. You can have him come off the bench, Indiana, if you still plan on keeping Victor Oladipo. So for Houston, again, Miles Turner is spacing out the floor for y'all, and he can defend at a high level. So that's why I think this is a great trade also. Now, Houston, number 7 on my list. You got a small forward now, and you got a star. Russell Westbrook to the Clippers for Paul George. Yes, playoff fee. Why this trade works out for both sides? Well, let's start with the Clippers. Now, in my opinion, I don't know how will Russell Westbrook and Kawhi work out, but it is interesting to think about it because Kawhi is labeled as selfish and very stuck up. But Kawhi, he just wants to win. He don't have to, have the ball in his hands at all times. He's a person that can score off ball also, and he's a very consistent scorer. Russell Westbrook, you can actually be the floor general on the Clippers. Really, you can be the floor general. You can run a show. Kawhi can get his points at will, and you can defend. It probably be a good fit. I just don't believe it will, but we have to see. Now for Houston, Paul George, playoff P. You can revise yourself on Houston. Houston, look at your starting 5 now. Point guard, Ben Simmons. Shooting guard, I believe you can put Paul George at shooting or small forward. I'll put Paul George as a small forward. You can put Kendrick Nunn as a shooting guard. Small forward, Paul George. Power forward, Miles Turner. Center, Al Horford. Doesn't that sound like a good starting 5? A great starting 5? You have one rising superstar. If he learns how to shoot the ball, he can be a superstar. And then you have a star on your team. And then you have a 2 centers that space the floor. Houston, I save your franchise. You're welcome. Anyways, let's get back to this trade. Maybe this probably works out for both sides. I think this might work out better for Houston, maybe, but I might be wrong. I think Russell Westbrook on the Clippers is interesting. So that's why this is number 7 on my list. And the last but not least trade is a bonus. I have 2 players to this team that fits pretty good. Either Zach LaVine to Dallas Mavericks, or Drew Holiday to the Dallas Mavericks for Tim Hardaway, Seth Curry, and a first-round draft pick. Now, Chicago will be better getting Tim Hardaway, Seth Curry, and a first-round draft pick than the Pelicans. The Pelicans can just give up Tim Hardaway and Seth Curry for Drew Holiday. In my opinion, I think Drew Holiday works better for Luka in Dallas than Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine is a great scoring guard, but he's not the best at defending. You need a great defender that can be a rough rider that can also space the floor and defend both sides of the floor. Drew Holiday is the perfect guard for Luka Doncic. Perfect piece. This works out perfectly. You get Drew Holiday, y'all will be a top 3 seed in the West. Yes, I said it. Y'all will be a top 3 seed in the West. As Luka keeps developing, if KP can actually stay healthy, or y'all can pick up another center and get Drew Holiday, y'all will be a top 3 seed in the West. Y'all will be reckoned with. Now, if you get Zach LaVine, I still think y'all be a top 5, top 4. It's just in the playoffs, y'all need defense. Zach LaVine's not the best defender. Drew Holiday is he's an elite defender. Zach LaVine could become a better defender, but I believe Drew Holiday is already elite. So there you have it, man. That's my top 8 realistic NBA trades. Let me know in the comments what y'all think about these trades. If they're realistic, if I'm wrong. And let me know what trades you think should happen. There you have it, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in for this video. And thank y'all for tuning in. It's been your boy, Will.